he doesn't want to move any faster than he needs to, right?
Yeah.
You can use that to kind of keep him slowed down. Now, here's the flip side of that. If he gets really annoyed with it and then he blows up, then you've got a problem you've created.
Yeah.
So I will use my environmental conditions depending on what I want to do. The first few times I'm on this horse's back, maybe the first half a dozen times, I want to really control my environment. I don't want wind. I don't want any, just like your tractor going by. If you'd have been on him for the first time and that tractor would have went by, you potentially could have had him just try to jump outside of that corral. It's about the context of what you're doing and what they're doing. Like I said before, you can do the same thing with him every day of his life when you're on the ground. But the moment you jump on his back, it's a whole new world to him. So I want to control that environment, and then I will use the environment. We get wind over here, and I will wait and ride them, and then when the conditions are the best for me. But when it comes to really needing to put this horse through some tests, yeah, I'm gonna get on them when it's a really windy day, and the more wind the better, because I need them to be able to trust me that we're going to be safe, because now I've taken 2 of their 3 senses that away from them that they use for survival. They can't smell as well when the wind is blowing, and they can't hear as well. All they have is their sight, and their heads come up, they look around, they're flighty, and that's why. So I would just there you go.
So this has been the biggest struggle after doing the rope work and wrapping him up is now he anticipates that me walking around him with rope means he's going to start turning.
Okay, here's what you can do. Just grab the rope there. Okay, you did it. You made it.
Well, I'm surprised.
I liked
it.
But you did. You were slowed. You kept your hand on him, and you kept him slowed down. You dropped your energy, right? You're just trying to get him to just not move. So you at an unconscious level, you dropped your energy as well to try to control.
That's true. I didn't notice that, but I did.
Yeah, think about that all the time, what you're doing with your own body. All right, so the first thing when you get this all hooked up, the first thing you're going to do is just ask him to back. There you go.
He doesn't take a step until his head's practically between his knees.
Well, and that's normal. That's very, very normal, because you don't see them really step backwards quite like we're asking them to do, unless they have to for some reason. So when you pull and then release, pull and release, there you go. And yeah, he's gonna get frustrated maybe, and a lot of times they'll paw the ground. It's just frustration. There you go.
Good boy.
Now you're there. Now, instead of just driving him straight away, I would turn him in a circle to control his forward movement. And then just bump, just pull and release, pull and release. There you go. See how he come right around when you bumped him a little bit?
Yeah.
And then release. It's so important to release that bit so that he will respond to you and not take the bit from you. Remember how in the clinic we had some horses that were pushing into the bit, but the more we pulled and then released, so they didn't have anything to push on, they quit searching for that pressure. And that's what we want to do, is maintain a really nice light touch on the horse's mouth by touching it and getting away from it, not just touching it and holding it. There you go. Good. And I wouldn't make him move much faster than what he's doing. We'll get to that. When you get a smaller corral, we'll go back to the driving a little bit, and we'll get a little bit more speed out of him too, but we'll be able to control it much better. But this is not bad for you. Now you kind of got the anxiety in yourself worked down a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's why, believe it or not, this last few minutes is as much for you as it is for him.
Okay. You can tell I'm scarred from. I haven't done enough work. I just need to get back in the swing of it and not anticipate that it's going to be like it was last time.
Yeah, and sometimes it can be, and sometimes it can be like, oh, okay, I lived through that. It wasn't a big deal.
Good
There you
boy.
go.
You're gonna have to step back if I can't go any further. Good boy.
There we go. And if you get him, you're kind of doing some figure eights and circles there, and that's perfect. But when you get him in the center of the corral and stop and try to get a back out of him just as soon as possible. There, like that. Excellent job.
Good
Very
boy.
good. Okay, now reward him. So just stop and then just walk up to the side of him and pet him. Get up there on his head. There you go. Did it again. Good. And really reward him for that.
Good boy. Good.
Very good. Very good. And do that one more time. Do another figure eight. Stop. Back up a few, 3-4 steps, and then go to his offside and praise him on that side. And you're going to be done for the day.
Okay.
So what we're doing, and I think you figured this out. You already know this because you kind of mentioned it before about you being scarred, is that we're kind of going back a little bit here, and we're taking a chance on this, this little bigger corral, which we want to get to anyway, and we're going to want to drive him out in the larger arena before we're done. But right now we're just testing and kind of going back and saying, hey, we can be successful at this, and then stop. There you go. Very good. Lightly pull, light, and then let him go. There you go. There. Look, now he's just dropping his head. Okay, yeah. You feel how he's much lighter?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's because you're not hanging on to his head. And sometimes when you're driving, you have to. There's not much you can do about that. But you try to minimize it as much as possible.
Boy.
Good job. We're out of time. And I think that this is a good spot you kind of went back to, and we're going to be able to kind of control our environment with a little bit smaller corral, and we'll work in it a little bit, and then we're gonna work on getting up and down off of his sides and stuff too. So until we get a smaller corral, let's just kind of hang off and do what you're doing. Keep progressing. I think you know what you need to do. And I'm going to put you on the spot here, but you tell me what you need to do for this next week.
I want to really hone in on turning him on the haunch so he's not walking through me anymore or past me.
Yes.
I want to drive him some more and maybe work up to a higher speed, but make sure that it's controlled.
Yes.
Because we don't do very well when we're reactive.
Right, that's right. And I would do that. I would wait until when you start getting a little higher speed with that, wait until you've got that corral put down to, when it's 8 panels and a smaller corral, so that you can truly control him without losing that rein, and you can stop him.
And then lastly, I want to go back to some stacking, just because I think that's really good for him. And he tends to, as we do better, it seems like that's the most consistent thing that starts going downhill is him being reactive to that.
Yeah, his skills tend to be perishable, don't they? They kind of He kind of reverts back. So, and one of the things you can do is kind of up the ante on that a little bit. When you sack him, go ahead and run at him and get him so he's doing that and fairly fast at him, and then add the sack, add a garbage sack or something light colored. And when he's good with that, and you rub him with it, and then you back off, then up the stakes again. Hold that thing above your head and kind of wave it at him as you're coming at him.
Okay.
And that way, because that's going to make you seemingly bigger and more movement about it, so that this is something that's going to eat him. Well, he's got to realize it's not going to eat him. So yeah, you're exactly right. You're hitting those high points that you need to hit and kind of fix. And then you're good to go. And we'll have a smaller corral, and then we're gonna jump up a little bit more on some more of the training. We're gonna progress to where we were before, and then see how he acts up to that point.
Great.
Well, good job, Taryn. You're doing great, and I know sometimes you get to where you're like, oh my God, am I doing the right thing? And if you're asking that question, that's the right thing that's happening with you. Because if you think you know it all, you're fooling yourself. I get the same way. It's like, boy, am I doing the right thing on this horse? It's better to do that than I see people go, this is what you always do. You need to do this no matter what. And it's like, well, okay, you're not very open in your approach here. So when you're a little bit uncomfortable and wondering if you're doing the right thing, you're doing the right thing. You're at least asking yourself the question, and you're evaluating yourself of what you can do better or what you should do differently to help him. So,
Okay.
Good job. See that for yourself too.
Okay. Well, thank you.
All right. Well, we will probably meet same time, same place next week, right?
Yep.
All right. We haven't had anybody on that has asked any questions, and maybe they're not there. Maybe they are not asking, but we're going to just go ahead and sign out today, and then we'll meet here next week.
Great. Well, thanks, Brandon.
Thank you, Taryn. Good job.
All right. Take care.
All right. Thanks.